Donald Trump lost 2 debates to me in 2020. And since then, he hadn't shown up for debate. Now he's acting like he wants to debate me again. Well, make my day, pal. I'll even do it twice. So let's pick the dates, Donald. I hear you're free on Wednesdays.
Notice how there were 5 jump cuts in a 14-second video. Donald Trump accepting the challenge to take on, quote, the worst president in the history of the United States and a true threat to democracy. The two talking trash for months. Biden's own advisors apparently don't want him to do the debates. But it's personal for Joe. We're told that Sleepy is seething with hatred for Donald Trump because he dares call out Hunter's corruption. Our prima donna president also has a list of demands. Joe Biden wants no audience, no third parties, sorry, RFK Jr., and they have the mics cut when the speaker isn't called on. But is this really just an attempt to change the conversation? It's no secret Joe's been bombing in the polls lately. Peter Doocy asked Binder.
So should we see this sudden offer from the president to debate as a signal that you guys realize you need to change the subject after some really bad polling?
I just don't want to get into polling, any more details on polling. As it relates to the debate, you got to talk to the campaign about it.
Who is going to stand in during the prep for Donald Trump?
Who's going to stand in? Do you want to stand in for Donald Trump? Do you want to do that?
So you're saying I can go debate Joe Biden behind the scenes
You know
for
what?
as long as I want?
I think that might be fun for both of you. It might be fun for both of you. I think that might be fun. I don't have anything for you on that, but I appreciate the question.
All right, Judge Jeanine, we just heard this morning out of the blue. What does it tell you about the strength of the Biden campaign that he just throws down the gauntlet like this?
Well, number one, he's trying to be tough guy. OK, you know, I'm a tough guy. And number two, it tells me that his campaign is concerned about the numbers. He's always wanted to debate because he thinks he's this great tough guy who's got a great record. Heck, when he came in, the inflation was 9%, right? I mean, that's what he thinks. But I think in addition to that, I think that his campaign is concerned. They know they're going to lose. I mean, if the election were held today, they would lose. They're listening to the Van Jones. They're listening to Axelrod. They're listening to Carville, and they know that they're in big trouble. But I think that, you know, he's coming out offensively saying, this is what we're going to do, and this is how I want it. I don't want an audience. Now, Trump says that not having an audience is because Biden's afraid of them, okay? But I think more than that, they're saying, I want to be in a television studio. To me, that says you want to already be at the podium, standing there when the cameras go on. We have candidate Joe Biden, candidate Donald Trump. There is no walking across the stage, stumbling, mumbling, not figuring out where you're going, and no large audience to respond to that. I thought also that I hear you're free on Wednesdays. I found that so offensive, and maybe not just because obviously everybody knows I have a long relationship with Donald Trump, but it's just you orchestrated this. You hunkered this guy down, and now you're over there sticking the knife in and say, hey, I hear you're free because court's open on Wednesdays. Now, one is at CNN, as I understand it, and that's the June 27th one. Isn't CNN where Donna Brazile was able to get those questions to Hillary Clinton during that CNN debate with Donald Trump and CNN? You know, it's just,
no, it was
kind of a...
That wasn't it. It was a primary debate with us about Bernie Sanders. There's like more to that story.
But there was Donna Brazile, and it was CNN, and she lied about it, and then she finally admitted it. But I think that in the end, I think that this is a good thing, and I think that irrespective of the parameters, I think Trump will do well.
Richard, why does he want to do one in the dead of summer?
Well, I think there's a couple of reasons. One, I think this is what this debates are all about.
What about the mic cutting? So there will be no crosstalk, no interruption. Dana, does that take away from the spontaneity, or does it let Joe Biden just talk and talk?
I could argue it either way.
Right.
But my instinct was this actually is probably good for Donald Trump. And the reason is that when somebody that you're debating is searching for words and is thinking about things and maybe stumbling a little bit, I'm not saying stuttering. I'm saying searching for the word, looking for the word. The other person, you have a tendency to try to help a person out, even if you're competing against them or you're jumping in and saving them from that moment. Like, I think it'd be very interesting to just like sit back and like, oh, I'll wait. So you can find those words, like you do that. So I think that probably works in his favor. And I'm okay on the audience thing. I think that there's a difference between a primary debate where everybody in the room agrees on 98% of the issues and they're only arguing about 2%, and it was just a little bit obnoxious. To your point on the free on Wednesdays, not only was it undignified, funny for them, they're fundraising off of it.
Yes.
Okay, it's like the T-shirts free on Wednesdays.
I already bought Jesse one of those.
So I think that was that thing. I also think it's interesting that it's between Biden and his team. So Jackie Heinrich reported that Biden's the one who said, I want to do this debate. And finally, at some point, when the president of the United States, the commander-in-chief, says, oh, I'm doing the debate, announce it, then you as a team have to go out and figure it out. So I think that because they obviously hardwired this with CNN to get it done, because this morning, every 20 minutes, we had new information. Mark Penn was on this morning. He's a Democrat, centrist guy, worked for Bill Clinton, helped Bill Clinton get reelected by moving him to the center. He said this is an act of desperation. It's a high-risk, high-reward format for Biden in particular. But he needed to change the conversation, as Judge said, right? He needed to say something, or I think you said in your opening, the information this week has been so bad. And I think June 27th, I don't think it has anything to do with the Supreme Court. I think that his team was like, we need 4 weeks to get this guy ready.
Also, that is a great point. June 27th, we might just have a ruling on the Hunter Biden gun charge. His son could be found guilty of a gun felony.
Pfizer better send him a big case of adrenaline shots to get him ready. The edits. It was like 13 seconds. There were like 5 edits. I mean, there are less edits in a Michael Bay movie. I mean, he couldn't even do that challenge in one straight shot. I wonder what they left on the cutting room floor. Maybe this is why they hired Steven Spielberg, just to get Joe to seamlessly complete a singular thought. I mean, Spielberg made a mechanical shark look real through the magic of editing. Maybe you can turn Joe into a cogent human being, bring CGI. I think that stands for corpse galvanizing imagery. I'm thinking, though, I think Joe heard finally what everybody else is hearing, that he's on his way out. And what do you do when you're on your way out? You set something in motion that makes it harder for you to leave. It's like when Jesse volunteered to be our floor's fire marshal, so that might buy him some time at the network. And it worked. It worked. Why is he doing this? I'm happy he's doing this. I'm glad he's doing it. Maybe Jill told him to do it. Maybe it's just easy to say you're going to do it and then back out. And this is just buying you time, and you could come up with reasons for backing out. There could be another new hoax that they push that makes it like we cannot debate this man. He's undebatable. It's beneath us to debate him. We don't even know what the hoax is, but they'll find one. Or perhaps they're banking on him being found guilty, and then they could say, we're not going to debate a felon. Or they're going to keep making conditions untenable, or they're going to hope that Trump makes conditions that are untenable, but I don't think Trump will. I just think maybe they're trying to keep the Republicans thinking that Joe is the candidate when he really isn't, because they're in big trouble. But I have to say that I don't know why Biden would avoid debating. It's one of the few things he's good at. I mean, he's the best Biden is on the debate stage. And we make fun of him all the time, but that's where he really shines. And if you think I'm lying, I am. I learned a lesson. You do not want to build really, really, really low expectations for Joe Biden, because it makes it easier for him to win with the media. A very, very low bar guarantees he will beat the expectations, because you go, oh my God, at least he lived. He didn't fall. So I'm going to go ahead and say right now, you can take it out of context, Joe Biden is the best presidential debater I've ever seen. And it's about time he gets on that stage.
Yeah, impossible to beat.
Impossible to beat. He's a master debater. Up next, the ladies of The View had to put a gag order on Robert De Niro after his profanity-laced rant against Trump.
I'm AI Donald Trump, and I approve this message. The fake news. Wake the woke, wake up America. It's not about the left or the right, but what is right and what is wrong. Tune into newswars.ai. I know that everyone here will soon be marching over to the Capitol building to peacefully and patriotically make your voices heard. Be sure to get out and vote early.